Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about malaria, one of the most common and dangerous disease caused by a parasite. In this video I will explain what malaria is, its cause, symptoms, life cycle, treatment and lastly prevention. Step by step in simple words. So without wasting time, let's begin. I made this video for you guys. Hope it will make the topic easier to understand. So let's begin. Firstly, let's know what is malaria. As I said, malaria is a vector-borne disease caused by a protozoan parasite of the genus Plasmodium. The parasite is transmitted to humans by the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. In simple words, when an infected mosquito bites a healthy person, the parasite enters the body and multiplies inside the liver and blood, causing fever and many other health problems. Okay? Next, here is the image of red blood cell inside the microscope. Okay, the red ones are the RBC, as you know, but the blue ones, as you can see, blue, this is the parasite. This is the parasite. Next, there are 4 species of Plasmodium known to infect humans. Okay, what are the 4 types? The 4 types are Plasmodium falciparum. Here P stands for Plasmodium. Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malaria. Here Plasmodium falciparum is the most dangerous one. Okay. These are the parasites inside the RBC. You can recognize it by seeing the images under the microscope. Okay. But these agents has their different incubation period and different time interval of fever. Like for Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium ovale, the time interval of fever is 48 hours. But for Plasmodium malaria, the time interval of fever is 72 hours. Okay? Like this, the incubation period of Plasmodium falciparum is 8 to 12 days. Okay. For Plasmodium vivax, it is 10 to 17 days. For Plasmodium ovale, it's 10 to 17 days again. And lastly, for Plasmodium malaria, the incubation period is 21 to 40 days. Okay. Next, let's see the vector of malaria. As you can see, it's a mosquito. What is the name of the mosquito? There are many types of mosquito, but the Anopheles, but female Anopheles. The female Anopheles mosquito is responsible for malaria. Okay. So what is the vector of malaria? The vector of malaria is female Anopheles mosquito. Here, this is a picture of a mosquito. As you can see, biting the skin. This is the skin, and these things that are going inside the body is the sporozoites. Now let's study the mode of transmission. Malaria spreads through the bite of an infected female Anopheles mosquito. As I said, when the mosquito bites a person with malaria, it sucks blood that contains gametocyte, the sexual forms of the parasite. When the same mosquito bites another healthy person, it injects sporozoites. These are sporozoites. Okay, as you can see, these are sporozoites. It injects sporozoites, the infective stage, into the bloodstream. That's how malaria passes from one to another. So as you can see, as I told, this is the mosquito. Suppose this is the Anopheles mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito biting the skin, and here the salivary gland, the sporozoid stays, and when the mosquito bites the skin, from the help of his salivary gland, when a mosquito sucks the blood of a human, those parasites, and the infective stage of the parasites is sporozoites, enters the blood. Okay. Now understand the life cycle of plasmodium. Okay, this is very important. Firstly, as you can see, first we are going to study the asexual cycle. Okay. First, the mosquito bite and entry of sporozoites. So you can see the mosquito is biting and the sporozoites are entering. Okay. These sporozoites are very tiny and quickly enter the bloodstream, traveling to the liver. So you can see liver. Second, after entering the bloodstream, the sporozoites reach the liver within about 30 minutes. Inside the liver cell, they multiply asexually to form zygotes. Each zygote contains thousands of merozoites. When the liver cell bursts, these merozoites are released into the bloodstream. This stage is also called pre-erythrocytic because it happens before the parasite enters the red blood cell. So you can see it's entering the liver and then this is the zygote and it's these circle ones are the merozoites. So you can see it's written also merozoites. So it's happening before it enters the red blood cell. So it is called pre-erythrocytic stage. Next, the very interesting stage is come. This is called the dormant forms. Okay, and this happens only if the agent is Plasmodium vivax or Plasmodium ovale. Okay, in some species like as I tell Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale, some sporozoites don't grow immediately. Okay, instead they become dormant forms called hypnozoites. They remain in the liver for weeks, months, or even years, and later can become active again, releasing merozoites and causing relapse of malaria. That's why malaria can come back even after treatment if these liver stages are not killed by specific medicines. It means the cycle is going. As you can see, this is the merozoite entering the RBC, but some merozoite stays here. Okay, some sporozoites stays here during the time of medication, so that after medication they can again form the zygote, release merozoite, and malaria will relapse. Okay, then the blood stays erythrocytic zygony. It's called erythrocytic zygony. From there, okay, merozoites enters the red blood cell. Inside each red blood cell, they grow and multiply through three main stages. What are the three main stages? Ring stage. As you can see, this is the ring stage. Looks like a ring. The parasite looks like a ring inside the RBC. And then trophozoite stage. The parasite grows by feeding on the red blood cells hemoglobin. Okay, this is the trophozoite stage. And the third one is zygote stage. It divides to form many merozoites. Okay, and then it divides to form many merozoites, and you can see these merozoites are releasing these merozoites. This is the merozoites are releasing. Okay, finally the RBC bursts, releasing these new merozoites into the blood, which infect more red blood cells. This cycle keeps repeating, leading to the massive destructions of red blood cells. Okay, then not all parasites continue multiplying. Some develop into male and female gametocytes inside the red blood cell. These are the sexual forms of the parasite, and they remain in the blood waiting to be picked up by another mosquito during a bite. As you can see, this is the continuing stage, but not all parasites does all the this. Some become the gametocyte. This is the how to recognize which one is how to identify which one is male gametocyte and which one is female gametocyte. The smaller one is the male gametocyte and the bigger one is the female Gametocyte. So this is the form when a mosquito bites a person with malaria. These gametocyte stages enters the mosquito's body, and then the sexual cycle happens in the mosquito body. What's happened in mosquito's gut? When another mosquito bites an infected person, it sucks up blood containing these gametocytes inside the mosquito's stomach. The male gametocyte forms many microgametes. The female gametocytes becomes a macrogamete. They fuse to form a zygote, which develops into a ookinete. The ookinete penetrates the mosquito's gut wall and forms a cyst called an oocyst. Inside the oocyst, thousands of sporozoites are produced. When the oocyst bursts, the sporozoites move to the mosquito's salivary glands, ready to infect another person during the next bite. This completes the life cycle of Plasmodium. As you can see, macrogametocyte. As I said, macrogametocyte and microgametocyte. This forms a zygote, and then ookinete that penetrates the wall of a mosquito's gut and form a cyst, and these cysts produce thousands of sporozoites that stays in the mosquito's salivary gland, and when the mosquito bites a healthy person, again the process happens. So this is the life cycle of Plasmodium, both asexual cycle and sexual cycle. Now let's see the symptoms of malaria. What is the symptoms of malaria? Firstly, fever. As I said, why fever comes? As when many RBCs rupture at the same time, they release toxins into the blood. These toxins cause the fever, chills and sweating that occurs in malaria. Okay, so fever, I also tell you guys, the cycle of fever depends on the species. Like for Plasmodium vivax and falciparum, it's 48 hours. Yes, and 72 hours for falciparum malaria. Okay, then vomiting, nausea, dry cough, headache. These symptoms are seen. Next, let's see the prevention of malaria. So using, as you can see, a boy is sleeping and these are the mosquitoes. So using a insecticide treated bed nets while sleeping. Then avoid stagnant water because mosquitoes lay eggs there. Use mosquito repellents indoors and even outdoors. Wear full sleep clothes at night. Use screen windows and doors to prevent mosquito entry. Okay, and also public awareness, okay, environmental cleanliness are the key to controlling the spread of malaria. Okay, so in summary, malaria is caused by Plasmodium parasites. They transmitted through mosquito bite. The parasite multiplies in the liver and blood, causing fever and other symptoms. Some species can remain dormant in the liver and cause relapse later. By understanding the life cycle, we can treat it properly and prevent it through mosquito control and awareness. That's for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to stay protected from mosquitoes and keep your surroundings clean.